the key to all happiness is to resolve our destructive relational patterns. And what are destructive relational patterns? That are unconscious mechanisms that create distance to our partner or the one who lives close to us. Actually, it's the pattern that creates distance between us and the world. We could even say between me and God. So there's something active inside of us that constantly creates more distance to others and thus to ourselves, to our emotions and core needs. In childhood, that was needed to protect us in an environment that was not fully able to relate to us and to allow a deep connection and attachment with us when we were a child. It was not a solution, it was just a pseudo-solution that helped us to survive and to somehow grow in an environment that is not able to meet our needs. What has been the survival mechanisms in our childhood is today the relational pattern or aspects of our relational patterns that separates us and creates suffering. So all modern trauma therapy have actually only one single goal: to update these patterns, and actually it's just one pattern, the pattern how we connect to the world and to other people, to close people. And if I say destructive pattern, that means that we hold something back. We are not fully honest. For example, we may suppress or at least don't communicate and don't share with our partner that there is hate or anger or rage. Or we hide from ourselves that there is a deep sadness and loneliness and desperation maybe. And instead of sharing this with our partner, we hide it. But energy will flow always. So we cannot avoid things. We cannot avoid or put aside things inside of us. We can create a distortion so that it does not appear in our consciousness as it is, but we cannot get rid of it. So the sadness and the rage in us will be there. Whether we are aware of it or not, whether we share it or not, it is there. And it will be communicated to the environment always. But the question is, if this communication is clear and obvious and appears as what it is, for example, I feel sadness, or does it appear as a distorted manifestation? For example, instead of sharing that there's deep sadness and loneliness, maybe the body gets ill. And now this becomes a distorted communication. The body gets attention from others, maybe medical attention or whatsoever, and the problem is solved, not really solved, but it is addressed on the wrong level, because your loneliness and your sadness inside will not go away if hundreds of people care for your body and your illness. So this is a mixture and distortion of the communication level. And because we are unconscious, we don't see what's going on. We don't realize that actually every illness and physical symptom is a not communicated emotion. And that's the reason why we don't understand what's going on. We think the symptom, the physical symptom or the illness is the problem. Yes, it is the problem. You should go to a doctor in any way, of course. But the actual cause is something else. So the problem will not be solved, the core problem will not be solved by treating the illness, the physical manifestation, because it's about emotions and sharing the sadness. So if you treat one illness, then the system has to find another way to communicate indirectly what you don't dare to share. So, for example, you cured the illness, then maybe you have an accident, or whatsoever happens. The result is the same. The system, the body-mind system, creates a situation where it gets what it needs, but in a way that your ego, your so-called ego, is not in danger. So, because it's, for the ego, it may be too dangerous, or seems to be too dangerous to share that I feel lonely, I feel sad, the body-mind system creates a situation where it is, as I said, communicated indirectly, and the need will be, or what the system needs will be given from the environment, but on the wrong level, which doesn't solve the problem. And the same with rage and anger, the two core emotions. So if you now see that and realize, okay, then let's share what's there. That would be the right approach, but we haven't learned in our society, and we don't learn that, and our children doesn't learn that, how to communicate in a way what's inside of us, that the other is not hurt and it's not a burden for the other. If we just communicate in some way, it will not lead to the connection and to the transformation the body-mind system needs. So that's why I created the honest sharing, which is a modality, a structure, a simple structure to communicate everything that it's inside of us in a way that it creates more closeness. So whatever is inside of us, communicated in the way of the honest sharing, creates more closeness, more relief, more relaxation. So I'm talking about two parts. The first part is to understand your situation, that it's all about sharing emotions with the one who's close to you. And the second part is to share it in a way that it really creates a connection and does not create more distance. If you would communicate in the normal way we do it, your partner will react with a defensive mechanism or with a defensive pattern to protect himself. For example, attacking you, going away from you, freezing, or trying to manipulate you. But if you communicate with the honest sharing style, it will be always interesting and pleasant for your partner. So nothing inside of you is a problem. Actually, everything inside of you, even what we call the dark aspects, become a means to enhance your relationship. It's not about what is there, what is inside of you. It's about how you share it. That's the crucial point. And honest sharing helps us to share everything so that your partnership will benefit from it.